So, approaching the boxing ring with something of a jog is Tajikistan's Akmal UBAIDOV, the tournament #3 seed, the reigning Asian champion. 3-0 in the IBA professional ranks. He's had a magnificent tournament here. Had a bye in the round of 64 for a third round stoppage over Mehdi Sahat in the round of 32 at the quarter-final stage.
Vsevolod,
including decking the estimable Kazakh operator with a left hook in the second round. He missed the right hand that he launched. The left hook was right on the button and sent Tamirjanov tottering backwards onto the canvas. But here comes Vsevolod SHUMKOV, the tournament #2 seed, a bronze medalist from Tashkent, Uzbekistan 2 years ago, comes in as the reigning European champion from the edition in Belgrade last year. One of the best 3-round boxers in the world. He's had a magnificent tournament so far. We take a closer look at UBAIDOV,
from Croatia,
and there is SHUMKOV, a man on a mission.
Latvia and
Arelston de Silva, who began his contest tournament in the round of 64. Arelston de Silva was quicker than all the opponents that he faced, and yet when he came up against SHUMKOV, you could almost see his mind thinking, okay, this guy's got me in the speed department, I've got to try and do something different. Terrific boxer is Arelston de Silva, 12-time medalist in the Brazilian Championships, but after starting in a round of 64, his tournament coming to an end at the quarters, and SHUMKOV has been very efficient over in Ring B to progress here through to yet another World Championship semi-final. So we're underway then. And the people, the Brains Trust, who put together the things such as seedings and bracketology, well, they've got this one right, because in the bottom of the 60-kilogram lightweight draw, it is the #3 seed, the man wearing red, Akmal UBAIDOV, the reigning Asian champion, facing off against the #2 seed and reigning European champion, that is Vsevolod SHUMKOV, looking to improve on the bronze medal that he won in Tashkent 2023. And this, a battle between two continental kings, two of the very best in the world, and it promises to be an absolute cracker. So SHUMKOV, wearing blue, representing Russia, just bobbing and weaving on the edge of range, drawing forwards, carrying his feet with him, but not fully committing to the jab, as you see him switch to the southpaw stance, UBAIDOV. And the thinking and the feinting, which has to be convincing, remember, one has the sense that is going to be really crucial in this contest. UBAIDOV continuing to switch. Roundhouse left may have been rendered a scoring shot. Did it land with the inside of the glove from SHUMKOV? Cracking right cross off the back foot from SHUMKOV. Catches UBAIDOV as he sought to advance. He'll be in search of his get back. Oh, good left hand slung into the body by UBAIDOV. SHUMKOV looking to counter immediately up top. Nice 1-2 gets through out of the orthodox stance. UBAIDOV momentarily turning southpaw, but now he's back as a right-handed boxer. Terrific atmosphere on hand here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Centre. Plenty of support for both boxers. If just beyond the halfway stage. And each man so wary of making a mistake, because the speed that the other man possesses means that it will be capitalized upon in an instant and no doubt countered with terrific accuracy.
There's a bit of damage, I think, to the left-hand side of the head there of SHUMKOV. Bit of blood coming from up in the hairline.
Heads did come together. Nice counter right hand off the back foot again from SHUMKOV. Shimmies forward in a little advance, and there's evidence of that hairline injury sustained by SHUMKOV. Never a good time or a place to get a cut, but again, has to be judged on a different plane when you're talking about IBA elite boxing, because at least this cut won't see blood going into the eye. UBAIDOV not too far away with an attempted right hand. So the corner are going to have something to deal with for SHUMKOV when he returns to the blue corner, and SHUMKOV just looking to work away on the inside. So too is UBAIDOV. Bit of a grapple ensues, forcing the intervention of the referee. Right hand wasn't too far away, and it's getting really physical on the inside. There's a clean pot shot with the left by SHUMKOV. And what I thought was going to be a sharp shooting counter-punching display ended up being a bit of a wrestling match.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? It was quite interesting that, because the first half of the round, it didn't look like it was going to head down that road, and then the second half of the round, they got up tight and got a hold of each other a little bit more. Shumkov landed some good shots there right to the end of the round. He had that strong right hand around about the midway stage as well, but neither one of them really managed to lock onto the other one, particularly at any given stage there, and there is that just little bit of damage which I don't think is going to be of any significance. It would have to be really deep and basically just not stop bleeding at all for the doctor to be concerned about it.
But that left hook we just saw there from Shumkov, perhaps the type of quality cameo that would be enough to give him the round. I think he had more of them than UBAIDOV enjoyed over the course of the first 3 minutes.
I would say so, probably, and you look at the scorecards there, and it's 5-0 in favour of the Russian fighter, and it's fine margins in a round where there's not much to pick between them. A couple of clean shots, and that's all it can really take.
So as we move into the second round, Akmal UBAIDOV was certainly in the opening 3 minutes, but he hasn't taken it for any of the 5 scoring judges. He just retreating to the perimeter of the boxing ring. And again, another headlock ensues. An attempted right hand, left hook. That was the combination he scored the knockdown with against Tamirjanov yesterday. Missed with the right hand, and the left hook came through and caught the Kazakh boxer and sent Serik Tamirjanov scuttling across the canvas before colliding with the corner post. Well, each man's judgment of distance hasn't been what we readily associate with them, and UBAIDOV complaining that the right hand from Shumkov straight into rabbit punch territory, which it did. UBAIDOV coming back with 2 strong left crosses to the body and a cracking left hook out of the southpaw stance. Perhaps UBAIDOV's best headshot of the entire contest. Shumkov remaining in contention. That's the big home run swing with an overhand left from UBAIDOV. Spinning out of the corner effectively, turning his back on his opponent is UBAIDOV. There was a good body shot sunk in, and sneaking in a shot practically on the break. He's seeing how far he can push it, Shumkov, because he didn't fully step back on the referee's command. So beyond the halfway stage of this second round, UBAIDOV has found a range a little more successfully in this compared to the first. There he drives in a good southpaw left to the body before re-emerging as an orthodox boxer, only to be walked onto a left jab followed by a right cross. Shumkov with another right cross just shortly after his previous success. Again, the stakes incredibly high. A place in the final is the prize that awaits the victor. Good left hand to the body slung in, and then a right jab upstairs as UBAIDOV was able to keep the attack going. Nice moment of sustained success for him. Good left hand to the body, and then countered immediately by a hook upstairs from Shumkov. So the boxers are finding their range with a little more consistency now and beginning to put some leverage onto their punches. Left hand to the body scored from UBAIDOV after the lead right hand was inaccurate. Shumkov continuing to apply pressure and going in search of that backhand. Using the space of the ring is UBAIDOV, and is, for a boxer as composed and efficient as he is, some of these hooks are coming in on a rather wide, dare I say it, desperate looking arc. And I think Shumkov, again, has got the better of this round for me. I think UBAIDOV did very well, but breathing with an open mouth as he goes back to the corner, but the second round in the book.
It's an interesting watch, this, because that second round wasn't vastly different to the first in that they came together a lot, not too much clean landed. But one thing you notice about the fight as well, and we are looking for scoring punches, of course, that's the primary criteria. But of the two, because Shumkov, as you mentioned it towards the end of the round there, is just a little bit tidier, he just looks a bit more like the boss. UBAIDOV looks a bit ragged, doesn't he? Like he's leaping in from the outside, a little bit of desperation there about him, whereas Shumkov just seems a bit more composed, a bit more settled, and a bit more in control. What you're looking for is who lands what. That's the most important thing at the end of it. But that kind of thing can play into the mind of judges a little bit. UBAIDOV, well, he needed more than that. He needed more than that. in that second round. It's got one of the judges, so a 4-1 split in favour of Shumkov, so some clear water between the two now.
Your third and final round.
And UBAIDOV is flexing that left shoulder. He's returning to the corner, being doused and drenched in a bid to cool him down and try and revive him. But even his body language as he got off the stool, he's flexing the shoulder. He looks a little bit almost forlorn. And he's got 3 minutes to try and turn around the contest. He's perfectly capable of taking a man out inside the 3 minutes. Of course, he's got a fellow continental kingpin emerging from the other corner. And again, we're reading into these things, but that's what I saw in the red corner just above our commentary position. Looks a little bit listless, runs onto a left jab, and he's got to get over that and get his mind back on the job, because there's an opportunity here to try and overturn a deficit of 20 points to 18 for 4 of the 5 judges. But Shumkov has started this final round brilliantly, and for the first 20 seconds, it has been one-way traffic. Right hand string into rabbit punch territory again from Shumkov. So was UBAIDOV feeling a little bit sorry for himself? Was he feeling as though he's stuck in mud? The man was flexing his right shoulder as though he's trying to get some lubrication and some synovial fluid flowing through there. But you don't want your opponent to see that, because he's going to get a surge in energy and confidence. He scores with a good left hand to the body, does UBAIDOV. Remaining as an orthodox boxer here now, and looking to keep his feet comparatively rooted in the canvas. That's a low blow from Shumkov, no complaint from UBAIDOV. Well, remember, he needs a massive final round, does UBAIDOV, and boxing at this type of pace and punch output, well, he's putting all of his store into a single KO blow. Because we're approaching the halfway stage, and UBAIDOV has done very little of note. And for the first 20 seconds of the round, Shumkov was practically helping himself to little peppering straight scoring punches. As UBAIDOV continues to wait seemingly for the perfect shot. There he did uncoil a right hand out of the orthodox stance, but he couldn't find the mark. Inaccurate with the left hook right hand combination that he slung out. And Shumkov spoken to about rabbit punching. He won't want to pick up a warning to change the complexion of the scorecards. He inaccurate on his forward foray. UBAIDOV now an orthodox southpaw boxer once again. Looking for the lead right hook out of the southpaw stance is UBAIDOV. But he's running out of time here. He needed a massive final round. It's as though he's elected to play counterpuncher. Slings in a left-hand bolo shot to the body. That's a scoring shot. But by electing to play counterpuncher as he goes in search of the counter left, he's almost looking for the perfect punch, a Rocky Marciano Suzy Q, to turn things in his favor, because the punch output hasn't been high enough. Shumkov hasn't been made uncomfortable enough, and he, burgeoning confidence now, coming forward, backing the man in red up, inaccurate with his two-shot combination, but Shumkov looking like very much the boss inside there, and I wonder whether UBAIDOV sustained an injury that caused him to flex that shoulder in between rounds 2 and 3. Shumkov knows that he has progressed through against a fellow continental kingpin in an outcome and a contest that was perhaps far less difficult than he anticipated. Certainly more straightforward than I anticipated.
Yes, same. I had UBAIDOV in my ring early on, and I thought that was going to be a real tussle. And I wonder about the shoulder, because maybe that's an existing problem that he's had for a little while. It's possible, of course, and I wouldn't say that he looked like he wanted out at the end of the second round or before the start of the third, like he was looking to the corner and suggesting that maybe he didn't really want to continue, but I think he was certainly just looking for them to make a decision there at least, which they did. They sent him back out, and I think he was happy enough to do it, but it just wasn't one of those fights that really went his way, and Shumkov just seemed, as I said before, he was more settled. He just seemed a bit more comfortable in his own skin in there, and that's what just makes me wonder about UBAIDOV and whether that injury might have been something that he's had for a little while, because he just seemed a bit frenetic, didn't he? He seemed a little bit kind of wild at times.
Ladies
I wasn't really expecting that.
After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. For your winner by unanimous decision, and advancing to the final. In the blue corner from Russia, Vsevolod SHUMKOV!
So Vsevolod SHUMKOV has improved upon the bronze medal that he claimed at Tashkent 2023 by progressing through to the gold medal bout here at Dubai 2025. Wonderful to see that respect between the reigning King of Europe and the reigning King of Asia, and it's the continental European champion Vsevolod SHUMKOV who goes through to the gold medal bout, eliminating the number 3 seed. UBAIDOV, you see him continuing to flex that shoulder. He was applauding SHUMKOV before the verdict was announced. He's given it absolutely everything. He's had a sensational tournament, and his quarter-final win to progress through to the semis at the expense of Serik Tamirjanov was a terrific performance indeed, but he wasn't able to get it going here today, and it's SHUMKOV who goes through.
And a quick clap for the Russian fans as he makes his way out there from SHUMKOV, and UBAIDOV has got every reason to be very, very proud of his display. And Russia are having an incredible tournament so far. They really are, and they've got another fighter through to the welterweight semi-finals, the weight division we've got coming up next. And we've got a couple of great fights coming up in the 67-kilogram division, actually. Muda Kujayev against Paraskiv, and then Kul against Bachkov. And there's the moment where he gets his hand raised. SHUMKOV, a satisfied smile on his face, but he'll want to go one step further. That's what this is all about. When you get this deep, you start to zone in on that major prize. $300 US for a gold medal, 150,000 for a